You don't need a gym. You don't need a diet. And you definitely don't need a therapist. What you do need is this story. This is how I completely turned my life around, mentally, emotionally, and physically, without spending a single dollar. No memberships. Number 30-day challenges. No waiting on someone else to save me. Just one decision and a series of tiny actions that rewired my mind and rebuilt my life. Here's how I did it, and how you can too. I was stuck. Burnt out, tired, unmotivated, gaining weight, and waking up already defeated. I convinced myself that I needed a gym pass, a diet, or therapy to heal. That mindset trapped me in a cycle of waiting. Waiting for the perfect plan. Waiting for the money. Waiting for motivation. The breakthrough came when I asked myself the hardest question I'd ever faced. What if no one ever comes to fix me? That was the day I decided to stop waiting and start building. That question started everything. I stopped chasing motivation and started creating momentum. I made one rule for myself: do one uncomfortable thing every day. It didn't matter how small: wake up at the same time, drink a glass of water first thing, leave my phone outside the bedroom. These tiny acts built trust in myself. When you keep small promises, you start becoming someone you can rely on. I wasn't waiting to feel ready anymore, I was acting my way into readiness. And that changed everything. I gave up the idea that fitness had to be intense to be effective. Instead, I walked. That's it. 15 minutes a day became 30, then 45. No tracking steps. No apps. Just movement. I walked to feel my body, to clear my mind, to reconnect with the world. I noticed trees again. I felt the air. I heard my own breath. And yes, I lost more weight from walking consistently than I ever did lifting weights inconsistently. Because this time, I actually stuck with it. It wasn't about burning calories. It was about becoming a person who moves every single day. I knew social media was draining me. So I got brutal. I unfollowed every account that made me feel less than. I turned my screen to grayscale. I deleted Instagram from Monday to Friday. At first, it felt like losing oxygen. But then, I could breathe again. The silence grew. And with it came peace, presence, and a quiet joy that doesn't live in likes or comments. I stopped watching other people live and started living myself. That time I used to spend scrolling? I used it to stretch, to breathe, to think. And slowly, I felt like myself again. I couldn't afford therapy, but I could afford paper and a pen. Every morning, I wrote 3 pages of whatever was in my head. No rules. Just a brain dump. Then I asked myself questions. What am I avoiding? What do I need today? What advice would I give myself if I were someone I loved? This practice became my clarity. I faced my truth without filters. And with time, I found answers inside me that I'd spent years outsourcing to others. That journal became my mirror. It showed me where I was lying to myself, and where I was ready to grow. I didn't follow a diet. I didn't track calories. I asked myself one question before every meal: will this give me energy or take it away? That question led me. If a food left me bloated, sluggish, foggy, I noted it. I didn't shame myself. I just learned and adjusted. I started treating my body with respect, not punishment. I ate to fuel, not to escape. That one shift ended years of yo-yo dieting. Food stopped being the enemy. It became part of my healing. Nature became my reset button. I made a rule: no nature, no Netflix. Every day, I got outside. Even if it was just for 10 minutes. Even in the rain. I let the sun hit my face. I took deep breaths. I grounded my bare feet in the grass. I watched clouds. Nature reminded me that nothing blooms overnight, but everything blooms with time and care. There's something about the way wind moves through trees or how the sky changes color that makes your own problems feel smaller, and your hope feel bigger. I also gave myself silence. 10 minutes a day. No music. No distractions. Just me, breathing. At first, my mind screamed. But over time, silence became the space where I met myself again. In the quiet, I discovered what I really wanted. What I feared. What I needed. That silence healed more than any self-help book ever could. It gave me space to just be. To listen to my own intuition. To remember who I was before the world told me who I should be. All these actions, walking, writing, eating well, resting, being present, became evidence of a new identity. I stopped identifying as someone broken. I stopped calling myself lazy, weak, lost. I started becoming the kind of person who takes care of themselves. Who shows up? Who keeps going? I stopped waiting to be saved. I started becoming my own solution. That identity shift? It changed everything. Because once you start acting like the person you want to become, eventually, you become them. Now, I won't lie, this wasn't magic. It was daily effort. But it was free. It was real. And it worked. Today, I wake up proud. I feel clear, focused, and aligned. Not perfect. But better. Consistent. Grounded. I'm no longer looking for a way out, I'm building a way forward. One habit, one walk, one breath at a time. So if you're tired of starting over, of chasing fixes, of outsourcing your healing, this is your sign. Start with what's free. Start with what's real. Start with yourself. Fixing your life doesn't begin with a gym or a guru. It begins with a decision. A choice to show up. To try. To build, even when you feel broken. And the best part? You can make that choice today. And it won't cost you a cent.